welcome back to Till Crow's Homestead. This is Shelly, and it is week 2 of the Every Bit Counts challenge. So this is Monday, and I actually have a couple things. So Randy and I went outside and picked some more green beans off of our pole beans that are on the fence line. So right now, I've blanched those, and they are freezing in the freezer. And they'll go in this bag when they're done freezing. So I am going to try to make spaghetti sauce. I actually made spaghetti sauce probably about 15 years ago, and it turned out great, but that was because I had a friend of mine, a friend of mine, her name is Penny, and she's kind of the one who really got me into canning and showing me how to do things. And so one year, her and I made spaghetti sauce, and not like this, but we, cooked it down, and it turned out really well. Another year, I tried to make tomato sauce, and I did not cook it down at all the way it was supposed to be. The jar, after I canned it, the actual, the part of the tomato separated from the water, and it was just, I don't know, it was weird. So this time I'm hoping that this turns out better. Randy's videotaping this, and I think he's having issues or whatever. Oh, his knee's bothering him. Okay. So if it's a little bit jumpy, that's why.
Yeah, so if you see this, you know why.
Yeah, that's what's happening. So I'm cutting up these tomatoes. These are actually not tomatoes out of our garden. Our tomatoes in our garden are just now starting to get ripe. You saw in last week's video that I froze a bunch of tomatoes, and those were tomatoes out of our garden, and I'm going to thaw those out this weekend and actually make tomato sauce with those, so we can use that for chili and stuff like that. But these are actually tomatoes. If you watched last week's video, you saw where I was talking about our friends, their son Michael, who has the produce business. I got this box of tomatoes from Michael. Check this out, man. These tomatoes are massive. There's this one in here.
There's one in there too.
Check that out. Look at that tomato. And I've cut things out of it. Check that out. But anyways, I'm cutting all of these down. I'm quartering the tomatoes. I'm going to add some zucchini and some squash. I'm going to add onions and bell peppers. And I'm going to let this cook down overnight in our cooker. And then I'll add spices to it tomorrow and can it. So
you don't add the spices to it while it's cooking?
You gotta cook all this down, and then you blend it. So, I have an emulsion blender or an immersion blender, but I use it for my soap. So I do not use it for cooking. So,
there's one down in the trailer, I think.
Oh, I think there is one down the trailer. Maybe I do have one that I can use for this. If I don't, then we're going to have to take it out, cupfuls, and put it in the food processor and blend it that way. But then you let that cook down a little bit more, and then you add the spices to it, or maybe you add the spices first and let it cook down. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch the video. If you want to see the video of what I'm doing, or the recipe of what I'm doing, it's Stiver's Homestead, and I'll put a link down below. They actually got the idea or the recipe from the 1870s Homestead channel. I think that's the reference that they gave in there. So that's what I'm working on Monday. All right, so here is the pot, everything that I have in there. So I added one really large onion. I added a green bell pepper. There's 2 zucchinis. There's 2 squash. There's a red bell pepper. And I think that's it. And it's kind of, you see, it's up above the edge. So, but this will cook down. And so the recipe calls for 325 for 4 hours. But this is going to have to be taken care of tomorrow when I get home from work. So we're going to start it off at 325, and then before Randy comes to bed, he's going to turn it down to 200 to, he's going to check it and turn it down and let it cook low and slow overnight, and then he is going to blend it for me once all of this gets cooked down, and then when I get home, I will add the spices, or either he'll add the spices when he blends it, I don't know, but hopefully it will be ready to can when I come home from work tomorrow. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Okay, so this is, what is this? What is today? Tuesday. This is Tuesday of week 2. And we collected another little mess of, where is my finger? We collected another little mess of green beans that Crystal is breaking, that we're going to put on a cookie sheet and pop in the freezer. And we're going to add it to the bag that we had yesterday that went into the freezer. And let me show you the tomato sauce. By tomato sauce, I meant spaghetti sauce. But anyways, that has been blended down and added, what did we add to it? We added brown sugar and a bunch of spices and some amino acids, some Worcestershire sauce. And the recipe called for tomato paste, and I'm pretty sure that was to thicken it up, or to help thicken it up. And it looks really good. It smells awesome. When I walked in the door from work today, the smell was just like, oh my gosh. And it tastes really good. So I've got some quart-sized jars in my canner that are sterilizing, and we're gonna can this up. Hey, welcome back, guys. So today, for Every Bit Counts challenge, we are making cowboy candy. So I have my recipe here. I actually got this recipe from, there's several YouTube channels out there that have this, a video about how to make this. But I got my recipe from Living Traditions Homestead, and I'll put a link down below for that recipe. I am going to try something different though, because in her video, the brine, the sweet syrup is really what it is. She had some of that left over, and I have a just a small mess of, I need to make cowboy candy. And basically what that is like sweet jalapenos. You slice these up and put them in a syrup, and apparently they're just packed full of flavor. I've never made them before, but that's what we're doing. So along with the fact that I've never made them before, I'm going to experiment and try something else as well. I'm hoping to get about 3 to 4 jars out of this. At least 3 jars. Because one of the things, you're supposed to add this, once this starts boiling, you turn it down and let it simmer. And then you add this to it and let it simmer some more, and that softens these. So, which means you can get more packed into the jar, so that's good. Anyway, I also want to do a jar with these cayenne peppers, and then I want to do a jar with these. I want to do a jar with these habaneros, and that's about a jar's worth. And then I'm also going to do a jar that has some habaneros, some of these peppers that I don't even know what these are. I got them from my little produce guy, Michael. They say that they have a mild to medium heat. If any of you know what these are, put it in the comments down below. But I'm going to put some of those in there with some cayenne, some habanero, and some jalapeno, just in a jar, just to mix it up a little bit. So, yeah, that's the plan. So now I'm adding the habaneros to simmer in the syrup, and then I'm going to add the cayenne peppers to simmer in the syrup, and then I'm going to add that mixture to simmer in the syrup. I want to keep them all separate, so even though you can see I've got tons of jalapeno seeds floating around in there, but I think it'll be okay. Alright, I got 2 jars right there in front of cowboy candy. This jar right there is the multiple ones that had the jalapenos, habaneros, cayennes, and the miscellaneous ones. This one is cayenne peppers. There's the habaneros. They're all up at the top, but I think they'll be okay. And that's what we got. All right, so right now this is Every Bit Counts challenge. I didn't videotape, but we got a lot of stuff going on. So this is all kinds of bell peppers frozen. We got yellow, red, purple, and green, and they're getting ready to be put in freezer bags. And then so Randy is over there cutting up legs and thighs, and from where we process chickens, and I am over here with the food saver putting chicken breast up. So that's what we're working on right now. So we have taken, check it out, the chicken feet right there. There's a neck in there. We put some onions and peppers in there and made chicken stock. And Jessica is putting that up, or screwing the lids on, getting ready to stick that in the pressure canner. And we're gonna have chicken stock. The egg quarters. Did you hear me? All right. So this is all the meat from our 46 chickens. Actually, it's not all of it. We have 12 whole chickens out in the cooler outside that we will bag up tomorrow because they need to rest for 24 hours. But this is 46 chickens. So today I'm making tomato sauce. If any of you all have been following my videos, you know that we had a jam-packed weekend full of chicken processing. So this actually went in this roaster on late Friday evening. I let it cook all day yesterday, and I didn't have time to mess with it, so I just turned it down on low and let it continue to cook until today, which is Sunday. And this is what it looks like, which is probably good because it cooked, like a lot of the juice out. I know you still see some juice, but there's not near as much as there was. So right now I am pureeing this. And then I'm gonna put it in there and let it cook down a little bit more. And then I'm gonna can it up and make sauce. So I've got my sauce going here, and I'm just gonna let it cook for, 30 to 45 minutes and, cook some more of the water off of it. Guys, check out this amazing spoon. Like, this thing is super long. I love it. It's super strong. It's handmade. And if you're interested in getting one of these, I purchased this from William at Perma Pastures Farm. He makes these handmade, and I'll leave a link in the description. All right, my tomato sauce is boiling. I'm following the Ball canning book. Let me just show you this recipe right here. And I just realized that it's for pizza sauce. All right, anyways, it's for this. I thought I was doing a tomato sauce, but it'll be all right. Anyway, I followed that recipe right there. That explains why it smells like pizza sauce. It actually smells really good, but we can still use it for chili or whatever. And so I'm getting ready to put it into my jars. I have a dozen jars here. They're hot. I've just sterilized them. I got lids back there sterilizing. And yeah, so getting ready to do it up. So wrapping up this week of the Every Bit Counts challenge, we have 16 pints of what was supposed to be tomato sauce, but is actually pizza sauce. But it's okay because it actually has a really mild flavor, but it's okay. It has a mild flavor and it's pretty good. I think it'll be all right for chili. So there we go. Have a great week. Yeah, God bless you. Have a great day.